This is exactly right.
My favorite. Murder.
In a long jacket. That's our cake cover.
We got it. All right, let's get out of here.
Steven, did you get that?
That was beautiful.
We've been recording for 8 minutes.
Go to My Favorite Murder Instagram to see that video that I'll forget to put up.
Yay.
Yay. Karen, I'm so impressed. I don't think I've ever seen you play guitar.
Have you not?
Except for on stage.
Have I not made you sit in front of me up close while I... Do you know that
You did. It's called Largo.
the old one?
Uh-huh. Girls Guitar Club.
I one time on the Walking the Room podcast long ago with Greg Barrett and Dave Anthony, at the end of it, Greg wanted me to play one of my songs, and they used to record in Greg's upstairs walk-in closet because the acoustics were better, and Dave was like, I can't be in here for this, and had to get up and leave.
It's too loud?
No, it was like too uncomfortable to have to sit next to a person who was going to sing a song.
Oh.
Isn't
Is
that
it weird
hilarious?
singing that close to people?
It is, and I think it's vulnerable, and it makes you feel probably pity for the person that's doing it, or like some kind of emotional thing.
I get that, but only when they're bad. Like when they're good, I'm like in awe. But if you had to, like you just had to do with me, I would feel bad.
But see, you made an artistic choice. That's bold.
Yeah, thank you.
I liked it.
How about today you have to sing all the hometown murders?
Good idea.
This is called the Swiss Cheese Pervert. Lighthearted hometown. So maybe a little bouncy. Hi, Karen, Georgia, Stephen, and Elvis, and Mimi. My name is Amanda, and I live right outside of Cherry Hill, the New Jersey one.
I have so much hate for mistakes.
No. No, I say no to that.
Nope.
No. In early 2014, I was a college student in Philadelphia when a man dubbed the Swiss Cheese Pervert began cruising the streets of Philly.
Oh, no.
In search of a woman to engage in sex acts with him and a slice of Swiss cheese.
Sorry, what?
He exposed both the slice of Swiss and his genitals to 4 different women, all of whom declined. Shocking, I know.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's question this.
He's pulling out his dick. Mm-hmm. That's a classic move of a pervert. Mm-hmm. Was that me?
That was me.
Okay. Because I didn't feel it, so that would have been upsetting. He pulls out his dick, but then he also pulls out a slice of Swiss cheese and shows it as well.
I think he's like, and like he's hoping some woman's like, oh my God, that's my exact fetish too. And I've always wanted to do that, but nobody's ever like, we're soulmates.
Was before the internet.
No, 2014.
Oh, fuck. Dude.
I mean, I hate to fucking be gross about this, but is the holes in Swiss cheese, is that what we're talking about?
Oh my God. Did he have the Swiss cheese on his penis?
And she's like,
He's like, do you like deli? Okay.
Are we talking thin sliced? What are we talking here?
Was it a triangle of Havarti?
Was it Jarlsberger? Like, are we really going to Swiss town?
Are we going to go all the way to Switzerland?
Are you going to pay the premium price of Swiss?
Or is this some Safeway Select piece of shit?
Thank God Vince hates Swiss cheese. Declined. However, 2 of the women were able to capture photos of him. Not in a like, oh my God, in a like, oh my God way, I'm sure. Cheese slices and all.
Wait, can I, while you read this, look it up?
Yes. The Philadelphia police shared the images. Oh my God, Karen, now. And naturally the puns started rolling in. Leave the perv alone. Oh, leave the perv alone. Leave the perv alone.
Oh,
leave the perv alone. Thank you, honey. I love this. What a monster.
Nice. That's my favorite one so far.
Jesus Christ.
Classic.
And he probably saw this and blew his brains out. BLU. Blew his brains out.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole different school of cheese, though, from Swiss. I'm just saying we're not close thematically.
What about, let's see, what do we got here? Gouda. That's a Gouda looking.
Your dick looks pretty Gouda from here. Something like that.
There she is.
Can I see that? Can you see it?
Ow,
he's sitting in a car. It's so good. He's sitting in a car. With a shirt on, but his pants off.
He's dangling the cheese over his dock.
This is a very specific thing that happened to him that makes him do this today.
I mean, he's not even creative enough to put his dick through the hole.
No, he's just holding the cheese like it's his paperwork that says it's okay for him to show you his dick.
It's almost like he's like, "Okay, come eat this piece of cheese. I'm going to trick you." And the women are like, "I'm going to eat the piece of cheese." Oh no, your dick is there.
Yeah, like you're a Labrador Retriever, where you're like, "Oh, I love cheese."
There's a pill in this,
and it's called your dick.
It's called ya dick.
Ya dick.
The man was identified and pled guilty to indecent exposure. He had arrests from 2006 and 2009 for similar cheese-related harassment.
No.
Several women came forward. I should have read this last. Several women came forward. I get why Stephen wrote lighthearted, because he's like, read this last so you're not all depressed.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
As was our absolute demand last week.
Then, Stephen, you shouldn't have put it on top. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
I'll read it again at the end. Contact him. Okay, several women came forward that had contact with him on dating websites where he would message them similar propositions, sometimes going into detail about the various types of cheese he has masturbated with, and his conclusion that Swiss was the best because of the texture and the holes. Can we please get to the holes? Hopefully the Swiss cheese pervert either learned his lesson or found a lady friend who loves Swiss as much as he does.
Neither of those things happened.
Nope.
I guarantee it.
Yep. Stay safe out there, friends. And remember that cheese is the adult version of candy. Don't accept any from strangers, especially if they have their junk out. Love, Amanda. P.S. Your show in Glenside was amazing. I'm still laughing about the 911 cow. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone already made a drawing of the 911 cow.
The Amish
Did you see
911
it?
cow. Yeah.
Well, I eventually put Glenside out because that was, I think, one of our favorite live shows.
Oh, my God. The Swiss cheese pervert is now I'd say in my top 3.
Yeah.
I love knowing that exists. I love seeing a picture of a man sitting in his car. Here's the indignity of it all, which I feel like people maybe they don't think through of, what would this picture look like? What does this look like to the person I'm presenting it to?
This is the digital age.
Yeah. And so you need to at least throw some duck lips out there if you're going to do all the rest of it. But he's just also that slice of Swiss cheese was huge.
It was huge.
It was really large.
Yep. Couldn't say the same for his dick, except I wouldn't know because there was a giant star over it. Thank God.
It was like a world star right over that penis.
I guess you don't want to think about dick and cheese in the same thing. Dick and cheese.
Yeah,
anyways.
I mean, it's unpleasant for sure. Yeah. Also, he has kind of a gut, which almost says like, maybe I should get off dairy.
Right.
You know, maybe there's something going on.
Maybe he's lactose intolerant.
What if he's just like helpless to it? He's just like, these are the things I have to have.
I mean... I get it. I'm obsessed with cheese. I love cheese. I get it. You know how I am around a cheese plate.
You're kind of a cheese pervert yourself.
I am a cheese pervert. So when my allergist recently told me I had to lay off it, I almost punched him in the face. But then he was like, okay, only cow milk. Like he knew I couldn't do it.
Oh, well, I love goat cheese. That's not the worst news in the world.
Goat's cheese. What else is there? Buffalo cheese.
Velveeta.
That's not cheese. You're right.
You can go right to that.
That's fair.
With the dairy restriction. Okay. There's no subject line on this one.
But
hey, guys. I was backpacking through Thailand last month and met a German tourist who shared a story with me that I thought you'd appreciate. My new German friend was out swimming one day in Koi Phi Phi. That's a full guess.
Sure.
Or Koi Phi Phi.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Cover all your bases.
This is an island on the south end of Thailand. Somewhat later in the evening, suddenly a lady on the beach started shouting about a person floating out in the water that appeared to be drowning. This person was floating just past the buoy line, indicating the end of the designated swim zone. I guess my new German friend had some previous lifeguarding experience and decided to be the hero and swim out to rescue him. When he finally reached the person in the water, he realized that they were blue. Yes, blue. And had a large gouge out of their forehead. Oh my God. The person he had swum out to save was actually a corpse and appeared to have been dead for some time. Oh my God. The German guy dragged the body into shore. Upon further inspection of the corpse, realized he knew the guy.
No.
Yes, this man was on one of his tour groups only 2 days earlier. The authorities were called, and it was extrapolated that that he was struck in the head by a boat while swimming outside the beach's designated swim zone. Hope you enjoyed this story. Stay sexy and don't swim past the buoy line. No. Casey.
Oh, man.
Isn't that nuts?
That's maybe one of the nutsest we've had.
That's so nuts. And what a weird feeling, because you only know that person 2 days worth.
Yeah.
But you also know them enough as a person to be like, holy good God.
And what a bummer way to go, man.
Hopefully it was fast.
Yeah, and hopefully the boating person didn't know that he had just done that and then just kept boating away into the fucking sunrise set.
Did you see, there's a sidebar article discussion. They just discovered.
Wait, what?
They just discovered a shark. Sorry.
Oh no, what's it going to be?
They just discovered a shark in Greenland that's 400 years old.
No.
Yes. And Stephen, please find the picture because it doesn't have any teeth and its eyes are kind of like, what?
It's like someone kill me, please.
It looks like a cartoon of a worried shark. And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just thinking of like horrible ocean things.
Yeah.
But there's also some great things happening in the ocean
an
too.
old man shark.
Let me see. I've seen it. There's one picture that's from the teeth. You can see the mouth.
He's like, enough already.
It's a woman, of course.
She's like, enough already.
She's like, kill me now.
Like 300 years ago, I was done with this shit.
She's like, no, I can't join Tinder.
Yeah, this water tastes like gasoline. Can I get out of here?
I swam around when everything.
God.
Isn't that the best?
She's like, Trump's president. Let me fucking leave this world already.
Leave. Where's the one where there's one where it literally looks like someone went and pulled every tooth out of her mouth.
How cute would a shark without teeth be? Like you could, like it's like a snake without venom. You'd be like, oh, you're gonna bite me? Oh.
I know. Oh, you gum my arm. You funny little
you want
thing.
some applesauce?
You're scratching this shark. 400 years old though.
Bananas.
No,
Sharks are aliens.
Stephen brought up sharks with human teeth.
Because I forget, it was the Shark Tank murder in Australia.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We like threw one of these up on the stage.
Just for fun.
The best.
Listen, they're aliens. It's crazy.
Look,
listen. Okay, this one is called Catcalling Arson.
Okay.
Hi, all. Let's just jump in. Yes, let's, Lauren.
Yay.
So when I was 10, 11-ish, my older cousin and I were at her parents' house. It was mid-afternoon Sunday, and our parents had gone to church to work on some youth event. We live in a fairly safe, small-town southern community in North Carolina. My cousin's house had a large, unfurnished basement with sheets hanging up everywhere to separate all the hoarded junk sitting around. That sounds creepy. Hiding their clutter as good southern people do.
Nice.
Just hanging sheets to hide your hoarding.
Just throw up a nice curtain mid-room.
It's like a wall. Don't worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
I was helping my cousin finish her list of chores and followed her downstairs to take another load of laundry down and grab clothes out of the dryer. The washer and dryer are located in the back of the basement in a large open room. So I'm folding clothes out of the basket, and she's at the washer putting in another load, and I hear this whistle. You know that, and then this part speaks to my heart because I can't whistle. So she says, you know that weet woot guys do when they're caught calling a lady on the street. And I fucking weet woo that one. Weet woo. I can't whistle, so that's all I would be able to say. Can you? There you go.
That.
And it scared both the cats.
I think it's a way funnier and more attractive thing to just yell weet woo.
Weet woo. Just like when I saw the weet woo like typed out, I was like, I know what you're talking about.
Weet woo.
Weet woo. My cousin is mid-sentence, so I look at her and go, how did you do that? And she turns around and says, what? And I'm like, whistle mid-sentence. How did you do that? She denies she whistles and said, you clearly whistled, not me. To which I deny because I can't whistle. I still can't whistle 15 years later. And then says, I'm sitting on the couch fake whistling to confirm. And as we are looking at each other with our mouths clearly not moving, we both hear the whistle again.
Weet woo.
Picture in your mind. Weet woo.
This time it's so much creepier.
Yeah, this time I drop the clothes and run, tearing up the stairs with my cousin not far behind me. We run up the stairs, shutting the basement door and locking it behind us.
Oh, sorry, I just put it together. Like I knew it factually, but I just put it together. They're in a fucking basement.
They're in a basement and there's sheets hanging all over, hiding shit, and they hear weet woo.
You set the whole scene, and then the second it was the cat calling,
you're like outside in
front of like a scaffolding, like New York City street.
They're home alone in a basement, hoarding basement.
Okay.
I call her dad, who laughs us off until he hears we are clearly in panic and comes home from church. He's back within 10 minutes with a crowbar and my dad in tow behind him, and they go to investigate. Fuck yeah, dads.
Yes.
My cousin and I sit upstairs frozen until they call us down. To our horror, the basement door that leads to outside is open, which it clearly was not when we were down there. So someone was standing there in the dark behind one of those rooms curtained off by sheets, whistling at 2 little girls, and hightailed it out the door, and we screamed and ran up the stairs. My cousin's house burned down twice after that over a period of 7 years.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The first time, according to firefighters' official reports, the fire started downstairs in the basement in the middle of a concrete floor, ruining all of downstairs and the majority of everything they owned. So they rebuilt and finished the basement. The second fire supposedly started upstairs in a bookshelf. No explanation of how or source. No candles around, nothing. Insurance later dropped them because they could not explain how the fire started and suspected arson.
Whoa.
Needless to say, my cousin and I can't help but feel like that creepy Sunday afternoon whistle had something to do with the fires. Oh, and they're still living in that house. Stay sexy, and if you hear a whistle, run or move, Lauren.
Holy shit.
How creepy is that?
Also because if it just is worst case scenario, it's some sex offender that's like hiding.
Yeah, like that's the worst case scenario, is a sex offender hiding in the basement where 2 little girls are fucking doing laundry.
But then it would make sense.
That's horrible.
If that person continues to live and be in that house, that he's a fire starter.
Yeah.
He's a fire starter. Wheat woo.
Wheat woo, named Mr. Wheat woo.
Oh, Jerry Wheat woo. He got out of jail 6 months ago. I'm not going to read you the subject line of this one because it'll give it away.
Okay.
Hey, Elvis, assorted other animals, humans, and Steven's mustache. I think actually that's redundant, and Steven's mustache is assorted other animals, but I'm not going to start criticizing right away. I don't know why I've hung on to this story for so long, but since I'm recovering from pneumonia this week, I guess I've got time. Anyway, about 35 years ago, I went to the Oakland Zoo with my parents, who probably had no business being parents, to be honest.
Wow.
I was only 5 or 6, so I don't remember anything about this trip except this. The zoo had a baby hippo named Muggs because he was sponsored.
No. What?
Sorry. Because he was sponsored by Mug Root Beer.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Why did they name him Root Beer?
It's the most uncreative thing. You're just like, what are you
Mugs?
Mugs for Mug Root Beer.
Okay.
Luckily, it wasn't named A&W, because that would have been confusing and hard for the children. All right. Oh, parentheses. I would love if anybody could confirm that they had a baby hippo named Muggs, but I swear I'm not making this up. Okay, close
Instagram
parentheses.
comments.
Yeah.
Check it. Someone will answer that for you.
Somebody might even have pictures.
That's right.
Because that's what I was looking up before we started. I was trying to make sure there's the Oakland Zoo, but then there's also a place in Oakland called Children's Fairyland.
Oh.
That is, I think, 60 years old.
Wow.
And I couldn't remember if those two things were connected, because I don't think I've ever been to the Oakland Zoo, but we went to Children's Fairyland many times.
Sounds so fun.
It is the best fucking place. My sister recently went there with her class and sent me pictures, and all the stuff's the same.
Oh my God.
Because it's not brand.
Yeah.
So it's just like, there's one thing where there's a whale's mouth open, and then you walk into the whale's mouth to get to one of the, like, to the show area or whatever. I don't remember.
I'm into it.
Okay. And there's a water fountain that you stick your head into a hippo's mouth to drink water.
That's so cute.
And that's what made me think of it.
Maybe his name is Muggs. Maybe there's root beer.
It's root beer. It's a root beer fountain. That'd be amazing if all water fountains at like children's places like that were just
high fructose
fucking
corn syrup.
soda. It's just a bunch of tang coming out of a hippopotamus's mouth. Okay. Anyway, of course there were signs that said something like, do not put arms and legs over the railing of the hippo pen. So of course, what does my dad do? But put me right on the railing with my legs dangling over.
God.
I guess nobody knew how dangerous hippos were back then. They absolutely didn't.
Really?
No.
Are they super dangerous? They are super dangerous.
They're the number one killer of tourists in Africa in the Congo or something. Yeah. Wherever people go to look at like animals, you know, in the wild in Africa, they kill tourists the most because people think they're friendly and cute and ballerinas, but they're not.
Wait, they're not ballerinas?
I'm sorry, but yeah, you've been introduced to many a cartoon hippo by thinking that it's a big female hippo that also wants to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny and great? No, it's not real. George, I'm sorry. Wait, listen, because this will make you happy.
Okay.
Well, Muggs, being curious and probably hungry, came right up to me and swallowed me up to my waist.
Oh. Oh dear.
I began screaming. My mom began screaming at my dad, and my dad started pounding on Muggs' snout. I distinctly remember being covered in hippo slobber and the feel of the hippo's teeth clamping down on my legs. Everybody is losing their shit now, and it seemed like forever, but it was probably only a few seconds. But Muggs, who was probably confused as fuck, finally let go of me. I guess I didn't taste too good. The even crazier part was there were no zookeepers around.
Oh my God.
At least none that I can remember. Totally traumatizing to kid me, but pretty funny now. Anyway, I love you all at MFM. Thanks so much for the show. Stay sexy and don't get eaten by a baby hippo. James from Oakland.
That's bananas. Like, what if it had been a full-grown hippo?
I know.
What if it had been... I was trying to think of a funny thing instead of mug, like a pint glass. Forget it.
Liter bottle?
Yeah.
No, it's... I mean, if it was a full-grown hippo, that little kid would have been gone, I think.
Oh, my God.
Isn't
and that poor hippo is like, what are you doing? You just dangled food into my cage.
Yeah, you basically gave me 2 steaks with some shoes on them.
You handed me a snack.
What am I supposed to
now you're hating me about it?
You know what? I'm not doing ballet anymore.
I quit. Mom.
Goodbye to the Nutcracker this year.
That's right. You can find another fucking hippo. Good luck.
Dance your goddamn dance for you. I don't get to eat a 5-year-old if I feel like it. What is the bra women are talking about? Why, it's the original True Body Bra by TrueandCo.com. Over 500,000 women have bought it and swear by it. It took over 6 years of collecting data from 7 million women to make this game-changing bra, and you won't believe how good it feels when you put it on. The buttery soft fabric smooths you out in all the right places. And you know what's game-changing? The best-selling True Body collection now comes in over 70 wire-free options. Choose from scooper V-neck, convertible straps, bright colors, neutrals, skin tones, and more. You will want them all. And no wonder True & Co. has sold over 500,000 of the original True Body Bras. The Today Show calls it game-changing. Good Housekeeping says it's the ultimate lounge bra. And Real Simple Magazine says it provides heavenly 24-hour comfort. So try the original True Body Bra by True & Co. today with free and easy returns. Save 15% now when you go to trueandco.com/murder and enter the code MURDER. That's TRUEANDCO.com. Goodbye.
This is called My Mother's Ex-Boyfriend, the Cocaine Cowboy.
Whoa.
And then it says, hi. You know when you date someone and break up and run into them years later only to be like, yikes, I really dodged a bullet there? Mm-hmm. That happened to my mom, except she saw him in a newspaper and he was dead.
Oh, no.
A few months ago, she told me about an ex of hers, Andrew Carter Thornton II, definitely bound to end up as some kind of criminal with that name. They were introduced by a mutual friend and started dating. He was dashing, charming, well-educated, successful, worked for the DEA. And took her to great restaurants. That's all I fucking need. That's my only one.
Say no more. Yeah. Ask no questions.
Exactly. Things were going well, but then the restaurants became seedier and seedier. He started flaking a lot, and his stories never really seemed to check out. When she asked what the deal was with that shit, he said he was undercover for the DEA and couldn't be seen out or would blow his cover. That's a great story. She didn't buy it and said, bye, girl, to his shady ass. A few years later, in 1985, she saw a headline in the newspaper, and then in parentheses it says, above the fold, quote, she likes to say, meaning it's like front page report.
That's big news.
Yeah. That read, quote, cocaine and a dead bear. Her boy, Andrew, had jumped from his drug smuggling plane. His first parachute hadn't opened for a mysterious and perhaps nefarious reason we'll never really know. His second clearly hadn't done the job, and he was found dead in a Knoxville, Tennessee driveway. His crash landing earned him the title of Cocaine Cowboy.
Wow.
According to the articles I read and lifted from, he was found wearing a bulletproof vest and Gucci loafers. Carrying a Browning 9mm automatic pistol, a .22 caliber Derringer, ammunition, night vision goggles, books with names and codes, thousands of dollars in cash, and 6 Cougarans, and then all caps, treasure!
But only 6?
Yeah. I mean, like, that's why you fell from the fucking ground. Those things are heavy, right?
He sewed them into the lining of his jacket.
Yeah.
Treasure.
He also had food rations and vitamins, and a compass, an altimeter, identification papers in 2 different names, a membership card to the Miami Jockey Club.
What the fuck?
And the key to the airplane.
No, Miami Jockey Club, like horse jockeys?
I guess.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Where was he? Why do you need a compass at the jockey club? Like, are you going to the forest? Are you going to Germany?
Is that what an altimeter is?
I thought. I said altimeter, and
I also said a compass. Is that why you thought that?
But I think altimeters are in planes. I don't. That's my guess. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I never have been told anything of relevant information.
And then it says, also 77 pounds of cocaine.
Oh, shit.
Worth literally millions of dollars. You know, the basics.
Yeah.
A few months later, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation reported that a dead 175-pound bear was found among 40 open containers of cocaine, matching the packaging used by Thornton.
Oh, no. The bear OD.
This says that poor bear had OD'd on the cocaine and had presumably been thrown from the plane mid-flight because it was carrying too much weight. Wait, no. Let me read that again. That poor bear had OD'd on the cocaine that had presumably been thrown from the plane mid-flight because it was carrying too much weight.
He's going down his checklist. He's like, Cougarants, check. Altimeter, check. A bear, check. Get the bear on this plane.
A bear on cocaine. That poor bear.
Oh, that poor bear.
Turns out Andrew was a former narcotics officer and suspended lawyer who had not been undercover for the DEA, as he said, though he had worked for them at one point, but instead had been on the run from them while he was dating my mom.
Wow.
He'd been working for a huge weapons and drug smuggling operation, and according to one article, he became one of the highest ranking members. This whole story is allegedly part of a larger conspiracy regarding drug trafficking / the CIA / a major weapons theft, but that could be a minisode in itself. So I'll just leave this story at that. Stay sexy and don't leave your drugs where bears can get them. Sam.
Shit, Sam.
That was great.
That was legendary. It's like a touch of D.B. Cooper.
Totally.
It was a touch of that story that you did about
on the tracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
then of course bears.
And then bears.
Bear ODs.
Sorry for the animal nature people out there that we had to include that. All bears were harmed in the making of this minisode.
But at the same time, they harm themselves.
That's right.
And addiction is a disease.
Say no to Coke.
That poor bear thought it was like powdered sugar. He's like, delicious cereal. Or
I
whatever.
see him like doing a dive, a perfect dive.
And then he's walking around smoking and talking about
the bear. A restaurant.
Oh my God.
A restaurant called Bear Essentials.
It's all honey. Oh my God. We got to get some bees in on this. Sticks his head in a beehive. Okay, the subject line of this is, my grandpa is crazier than your grandpa. Hi. In the 1940s, my grandpa was a self-described hobo. He used to hitchhike and ride around in trains looking for work during the school year when he was a teenager.
That sounds like so much fun.
I mean, that's the life. And then he would come back to his parents' house during the summer to look after his little brother, Gary. Every year, Gary would ask if he could go along. And when he turned 12 or 13, my grandpa finally agreed to take him.
Can we just talk about babies named Gary real quick? I just want to take a fucking moment to let everyone know that there was like a child named Gary at one point in his life.
Like a 7-year-old, like, it's me, Gary. I just want to go on the train with you. Gary?
Can I come, Gary?
It's me, Gary. Stop it, Gary.
Honey, will you help the baby? Gary's crying. Baby,
will you change Gary's diaper?
Will you change Gary's diaper? Gary spit up again.
Gary has a briefcase. He's only 4. But
his diapers are in his briefcase.
You just do the basics. Gary's got all the equipment.
Okay, go on with baby Gary.
Okay, baby Gary gets to go because it's so long ago. It was the 40s that 13. It says my grandpa finally agreed to take him. 13 is basically an adult, right? So I actually just started talking through the end of that paragraph instead of just reading it. So they're leaving their hometown of Walla Walla, Washington, by the way of hitchhiking. They get picked up and my grandpa is quietly sitting in the back seat while Gary is making conversation with the driver.
Gary, 13.
Gary's just working the driver. At this point, I should mention 2 things. My grandpa is quiet and salty and he refuses to comment on the story. Oh, I love him. Gary is the only one who will talk about it. Spoiler alert, they both survive. Okay. So this guy is driving and he takes an unexpected turn. Gary says something about it, and the guy doesn't respond. Then Gary goes, seriously, mister, you're headed down the wrong way. And the man tells Gary, shut the fuck up, and turns down a forested road toward the mountains. After another minute or two, Gary asks the man to let them out, and the guy produces a pistol, points it at Gary, and says, you'll get out when I say you'll get out.
Oh, no.
At which point, Gary hears a click from the back of the car. My grandpa is pointing a gun at the man.
Holy shit.
And then it just says in quotation, no, I think we'll get out here. Believe it or not, the guy was convinced and he let them go.
Oh.
Gary decided the hobo life wasn't for him. And to this day, Granddad won't tell anyone where he got the gun. SSDGM, Casey Jane. P.S. Looking forward to seeing you in San Francisco this October.
What about this for a fucking twisteroo?
Yes.
What if Gary, what's the grandpa's name?
It just says grandpa.
What if teenage grandpa, did it on purpose to scare Gary from ever coming again?
Yes.
Right?
Oh my God.
And then Gary's like, I want to go back home. And grandpa's like, well, I'm teenage grandpa. I got to go on my own, Gary.
And the friend that's like, I'm scary random man from the car.
There's problems because like, why does teenage grandpa know this creepy old man? Anyway, but that's not where...
That's the hobo life. They're not ageist.
You know people, you have friends.
You can start young, you can end old. You can do it however you want.
That's great. I love that the grandpa won't comment on it.
I know.
You got to have a gun with you if you're going to be a fucking traveling hobo.
You got to have a piece or a switchblade. You get
Absolutely.
And also, how smart of him to sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever happens here. Also, Gary's just totally a front seat bait.
Chit chat.
It's just like, why don't you go ahead and go up and sit up there?
Sit next to the old man. Pepper him with questions.
See how he responds. I'm not going to read you the subject line.
Right.
Hello, beautiful ladies, Stephen and fur babies. I was listening to the Minisode when you read the story about the girl trying to scare her grandmother, but instead it was someone trying to break in, and it reminded me of this story.
Oh my God.
Both my brother and his wife used to be cops. They both switched professions and are firefighters now. They've always taught their kids what to do in emergency situations. One day, my niece, who was about 10 years old at the time, was at her friend's house. Well, while there, someone broke into her friend's house and threatened everyone inside. My niece was able to sneak away and head home. But instead of calling for help, she grabbed my brother's gun, loaded it, and went back to her friend's house.
What?
They lived next door. She walked in, aimed the gun at the man, and told him to get out of the house. Luckily, this was enough to scare away the man, and he left without harming anyone.
Holy shit.
10 years old. Needless to say, my brother and his wife were both proud and horrified when they found out what happened. And needless to say, they moved their guns to a different location, locked them up, and had a long chat with their kids about the correct way to handle a situation.
Yeah, they were like
that.
telling them about how to defend yourself, but didn't start with number one, call the police.
Yes. You're not the police.
You're 10.
You're in fourth grade, and you don't have to take this on. This is for adults.
Not yours. Yeah.
Although you did. And therefore, you're the most badass 10-year-old of all time.
That's right.
And I will never stop smiling because I've heard your story. Stay sexy and teach your kids to call 911 instead of taking on a burglar by yourself. Sherry.
Amazing.
I love that 10-year-old girl.
Maybe
I'm
I'll
sorry.
have one kid. Just one. Maybe I'll have one 10-year-old. I'll just have a 10-year-old.
I picture this little girl. This is when I first read this and I could not stop giggling. I pictured that it's like a terrible home invasion scene. And I picture a little girl with pigtails sliding backwards over the back of a couch, like when no one's looking.
Like a slug,
just kind of sliding back.
Maybe she's double jointed and just kind of puts all of her things out of joint.
Very circus style.
Yeah.
She's Cirque du Soleil backwards over the couch.
She becomes liquid.
She's liquids out the door, form of an ice cube, shape of. But then it's pigtails kicking the door in with the gun going, get out of this motherfucking house.
She's got braces. Please, motherfucker.
Please, motherfucker. That she takes out a retainer so she can say it really clearly. Oh, I just love it.
Amen.
Children do not touch guns.
Don't lock up your guns, everyone.
Everybody,
don't your child.
Lock your guns. Children never touch guns. It's not, don't touch guns. We don't think it's cool.
Also, don't listen to this podcast if you're a child.
Get the fuck
what
out of here.
What are you doing?
10? Get out of here. Except for you, little hero.
Yeah, little punky
You
Brewster.
little badass punky Brewster hero. Wow, what a great batch.
Those were a great batch. Send your great batch to myfavoriteMurder@gmail. Oh, and also you can go now on our brand new pretty sparkly website and just submit there somewhere.
Yes, that's right. You can go directly at www.myfavoriteMurder.com/gov.
Thanks for listening and sending in your stuff.
And stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, you want a cookie?
Wow.
Leaned right in with that one.